Hi guys, I'm Carrie Intuitive.
I'm Casey Intuitive.
Thanks for joining us. So today's segment, we are talking about the spiritual immune system and ways to boost your spiritual immune system. What on earth is the spiritual immune system anyway? Well, it's just like your regular immune system, except for it covers all of your spiritual sides. So it is really important to keep your spiritual immune system up so that way you are not left feeling down, which leads to low vibrational entities and also bringing your own personal vibrations down. The goal of this segment is to help you to keep your vibrations up, and by doing that you are essentially keeping your spiritual immune system up. So these are the 5 tips on keeping your spiritual immune system up. The first one is spiritual accountability. What is spiritual accountability? Spiritual accountability is being sure that as a God-like being with a God particle in us, that we are accountable to other beings. We are not meant to be alone, and we know this because there are more than one person on this universe, in this world. We know this because he's here, I'm here, your friends are here, your loved ones are here, people you love, everybody's here. So we are not meant to be alone. Spiritual accountability is important because that keeps you true to your highest purpose. It is important for us to be able to relate to other people and really have a good sounding board with other people on just letting things, whether or not they just kind of reside in your head and just kind of sit there, or when it comes out, the person who is hearing you is able to keep you accountable to what you're just saying and what your beliefs really are, and put you into a checks and balance system of that, which keeps you either really close to light or dark. And of course we all want to make sure that we're staying light. So, and by doing that, that will raise your spiritual immune system, which raises your overall vibrations and you feel better. The second part of this is finding your spiritual guides. So with spiritual guides, everybody has them. It is really important through your lifetime to seek them if you don't already know who they are. Everybody is born into this world with obviously God, or a God particle, or God energy, or whatever faith system you believe in. That is obviously number one. But the first tier for your personal guides includes always, every person is assigned with a divine male and a divine female. Those are very, very important personal guides. Those guides do not change through your lifetime. They're always consistent through your entire lifetime. Now, some people will find that one guide will show themselves more than the other. Sometimes it's your female guide that shows themselves more than the other one, and maybe the male guide will stay quiet in the background. But that is because that specific guide that is coming forward is really essential into your spiritual growth at that time. Now, that could be a period of time through several years, several months, or even your entire lifetime. But the male guide is still there. The one that is silent is still there. It is up to you to dig deep into your spiritual growth to find who this other guide is and what their purpose is too, because the more entities as far as your personal guides, those guides are really important to your spiritual growth. And when you are in spiritual growth, you are going to find your purpose, and that is what we are all here for, to find our purpose and make sure that our entire lives we are radiating love and light at a high vibrational frequency. Therefore, you're also putting that on to everybody around you as well, with that love and light and those high vibrational frequencies and so forth. They're radiating it as well. It is really important to find those guides. So like I said, that top tier there is your divine female and your divine male. They are always with you. The second tier is going to be all of those loved ones, maybe family members that come and go throughout your lifetime. That tier will have personal guides that might interchange throughout your entire lifetime. You might have one or two that stays with you your entire lifetime, but usually those personal guides will switch out from time to time depending on what you're going through in your life and which guide is going to help you guide help guide you through that situation that is very specific for your personal growth. That guide will have a lot of information and a lot of experience in that topic versus the other guides that switch in and out may or may not. So that guide will be very prominent. That is in the second tier. That second tier is the loved ones, your family members, and other guides on the other side there too.
And guides are going to have different purposes as well, right?
Right. Like what? Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, as far as either personal growth or spiritual growth, or even going through a spiritual battle, you're going to have different guides for different reasons.
Right. Ooh, a very good example of that too is that recently one of your guides has shown up too of a military person that you had known in your past. And this guide wasn't necessarily in your life your entire life, but he is very dominant right now.
Yeah.
Because he personally relates with what you're going through and what you will be going through. Especially as his life, he's been able to look at his own life, that the military friend on the other side after he passed, and be able to understand ways to help somebody else grow. And that's where he entered Casey's life.
This is a friend that I lost in Iraq.
Yeah, which is that's an incredibly awesome thing to do. But as far as having a friend that does come in, and that happens quite frequently too. Family members do come and go through your life because they have different purposes for what you specifically are going through at that very moment of your life and what you will be going through as well. They have those key elements to help you grow in a very thorough, high vibrational way. So with the third one, the third point to keeping your spiritual immune system high, keeping that high vibrational level, is finding your personal evolution, your purpose. Finding your purpose. Now, the evolution and purpose is going to change from the time you're a child to the time that you are at your oldest age of living on this lifetime, this plane. It's going to change. You know, you're not going to have the same needs as wants that you did from when you were a child versus when you are much older in age. But you still have purpose within each of those stages of your life. So it's really important to look at that evolution of that purpose and to activate that purpose. Now, finding that purpose is going to be extremely personal. Everybody has their own purpose here on earth. Everybody has and nothing is too small or too great. Somebody else's personal purpose is going to be very different than mine, and so forth. And that's not something that should be compared either. Everybody's individual purpose is exquisitely unique, and it's always evolving. So it's really important to continue to look and find your personal purpose, and tune in with your guides too as they help you find your personal purpose as well, and that will very much raise the vibrational levels of yourself, in turn keeping your spiritual immune system high. So with that, the fourth thing on the topic of 5 spiritual ways, 5 spiritual things to keep your spiritual immune system high, in essence keeping your high vibrations. The fourth one is keeping strong boundaries in place. So keeping strong boundaries in place. This means both spiritually, emotionally, and physically, which in turn helps your past, your present, and your future. Keeping those strong boundaries. That is keeping also very strong spiritual boundaries. That means keeping boundaries with your friends and family of things that you're willing to do, things that you're not, things that will keep your own personal vibrations high, keeping you on your own purpose, and keeping that accountability to that purpose moving forward, being strong with them, because that is a very good, loving thing to do, both for yourself and for other people, maintaining those boundaries with your friends and family, as well as spiritual boundaries, which includes meditation. Now, meditation can look very different for everybody. Now, you have, the whole super Zen zone, I'm in deep meditation, finding ultra purpose, and, everything's all super vibey, which is awesome. But that doesn't work that way for everybody. Quite honestly, meditation can be as simple as going on a long hike somewhere and you're downloading all of your day troubles into the earth. That is a type of meditation because you're clearing out all of the negative yuck stuff, and you're also receiving all of the good stuff from the world. And that can take like 10 minutes or so. That's fine. It doesn't have to be this long, lengthy bit. Everybody's own form of meditation is going to be unique to your personal design, which is important. Your individual design is exclusive to you, which is so vastly important to the entire universe because it creates your purpose. And when you're living your purpose, you're displaying that to the rest of the world. You're raising up those high vibrations, which turns that out to everybody else in effect, and they do the same thing. So keeping that boundary too with your spiritual boundaries in meditation. Also, it's really important to make time to heal. I don't know one person in this planet who has just had this hunky-dory, peaceful life. That just doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And comparing one person's story to another is a really terrible thing to do. Just because somebody seemingly has gone through something worse than you have does not invalidate your own experiences. Healing is so important. It is so important to make time to go through those areas that hurt within your life and actually process it, feel it, heal it, and then move on. So part of that spiritual boundaries is making time to heal. So with that, the other part of we're talking today about the 5 ways to keep your spiritual immune system up. The last one is not the least important. It's also very important, even though it's coming up last. It is faith. Faith is so important. It is so important to have faith to keep your spiritual immune system high, to create those high vibrations, to be at that high vibrational place, and to exude high vibrations on everything that you do. Faith, what does that mean? Faith is a very personal thing, obviously. My faith is going to be different than your faith. The faith that we have at church is going to be different than, what your faith is like in 10 years. Does that make that right or wrong? No. It is really important to have faith in something that is higher than yourself, whether it's your highest self or it's a God entity or an energy that's higher than you. It is really important to have faith. Faith knowing that you are not meant to be alone and that there's something providing for your greatest good. That greatest good in turn builds your personal purpose, which enhances your spiritual immune system, raising that vibration, which we've talked about through this entire video. The best part about faith is understanding that your personal truth is real, your personal truth is valid. When you understand your personal truth, it is very easy to take that idea and manifest that truth for the greatest good. So what that means is that if you have like a job coming up, you have a couple of opportunities to pick out of, a couple of jobs of whether or not you feel like this is your purpose. It is a really good idea to really dig deep on that of which one is going to serve your highest purpose the best. Which one is for your spiritual growth the best. In turn, those financial opportunities will happen, but having faith that something else is looking over you and watching you and helping you spiritually grow keeps you away from ego. Ego is one of the most devastating, low vibrational forces, entities, energies out there that there is. Ego is not a good thing. Nothing good happens from ego. It's okay to be confident, but it is not okay to have ego. And how do we keep from having ego? Again, it goes back to spiritual accountability. It goes into tapping into your personal guides. It goes into finding your personal evolution for your purpose. It goes into keeping strong boundaries in place, which leads to faith. With all those things in place, it is really hard not to have faith. It is really hard not to understand that you are actually loved, you are valid, and you are taken care of. We are not meant to be alone. So that's, yeah.
Not having faith is also the abandonment of hope.
Right. And it's, we're meant to have hope. We really are. We really are. And you deserve it. We all do. We all really do. So that is the 5 key things to keeping your spiritual immune system up, which, like we just said, raises your entire vibrations, and your vibrations being risen helps other people, and so forth, which activates your purpose. So keep out there. If you like what we did, go ahead and subscribe below. Thanks for watching us. We hope that you tune in again later. Have a great day. Live your purpose. Love and light.